Welcome back to day 12 of the Valentine countdown box from Brutus Monroe. We're going to open day 12, and it is, ooh, another stamp. It's got a little envelope with hearts coming out. This is totally screaming sending love to me, so we are going to find that from the Super Sentimental set and use that as our sentiment. I'm going to grab this Valentine shaker mix, which was part of last week's freebie. I know they sold out, but if you did get these, you could use any kind of clay hearts, or you could use some die cut hearts. We're going to use those. And I told you yesterday I'd show you how to use some of these. Well, these leftover pieces, and I didn't on that card, so we'll use that. Let me grab a couple other things and we will get started. Okay, I have pulled some things together. I am going to use this OWH sketch number 51 as my inspiration. I have already stamped out our stamp image for the 90 day on some Perfect Blend paper with Raven Detail ink. I've also stamped my Sending Love from the Shaped Flower stamp set. I chose this one instead. I liked the rectangle aspect of it. And then I have grabbed some Gentle Love paper from the pieces from the Gentle Love paper pad set. So I'm going to go ahead, and the background is going to be this one, which is going to be the A2 size card panel. So it's going to be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it's A2 card size. That is going to be our background panel. Let's see if I can go over a little bit. Then I was trying to decide, I think I'm going to use this, which is, so we're going to do 5 1/2 by 2 inches. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the 2 inches down. And then 5 1/2. And that is going to be the piece that goes across the top. And then I have this piece here, and it's my lighter one. It's going to be a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. So I'm going to cut that into a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 inch square. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, I think that's what I like. I like that. And then we have our little heart thing that's going to go here, and then we're going to cut this down. I'm just going to go ahead and show you. I line it up with the plastic piece on my trimmer, and at the top and bottom. This is Perfect Blend paper, and that gives me an even there. And then when I line it up this way, I'll do the same thing. I line up the edge of my sentiment with the plastic edge of my trimmer. Pull those off to the side and get rid of our trimmer, and then we can start putting our card together. And then we have our Sending Love, which I think is going to go up here. Okay, so we've got this. We need to color our image here, and I'm going to go ahead, grab my R17 Olo marker here, and I'm going to color in a couple of the hearts with this color. 1, 2, maybe 3 with that color. I'm going to go ahead and grab, I think, let's just try this little piece here. This little, that might be a little too pinky. Let's try this one. I just want to show you, sometimes you can grab, that looks a little better. Maybe one of those, and then actually do this one, and then I think I'm going to go back and do the same thing with this R17 for this one. I was thinking about coloring them, all the colors of the background, but I'm going to stick with that. However, I am going to grab a light blue. Let's see if this is the right light blue. Oh, that's a little too, let's try B2. Oh, that's not a little bit. So this is the good way to, you kind of test it to see. Maybe we'll try the green. Oh, I like that green. So that green kind of pulls in here, and that's what color our envelope's going to be. Just to add a little extra color. And I'm just going to kind of feather it out a little bit from here. And I'll show you, you can kind of get a couple different colors with one color. I'm going to go ahead and color this in like this and kind of go up a little ways. And then I'm going to let it just sit for a minute. And then I'll go back over the beginning and kind of go over it one more time, feathering out a little bit more. And then where I went over it originally, it'd be a little darker. Now it doesn't, sometimes it doesn't work depending on the color, but you can see where that's a little bit, and go out just a little bit more. And then I think what I'm going to do is grab my little BG7, which is one of my favorite little white colors, and kind of go over the whole thing and pull it out a little ways. And that will kind of fade it out to almost a greeny white. I don't have a super light green color in my Olos that match, but by going over the dark green color, or the green color with this marker, darkens that up a little bit and then kind of pulls it up into a whiter color. And then I can actually take my YG 8.3 again and kind of just feather it out, and it will kind of, as that's all wet, soak into the paper and kind of add a little bit more of that green color. A little bit on this side because there's a little line, and I'm going to kind of go over the edge where the detail is there. And then that kind of gives it that little green color look. We'll see how that looks when I'm done. I may grab this G1. Let's see, I might do a little bit. Nope, I don't like that color, but we'll put it in there a little bit. It's a little bit lighter color, but I've already used it. So we'll just go back over. That's just kind of happens sometimes when you color. Go back with that YG 8.3 and we'll go over it one more time. And that will kind of hide that little bit of green, you know, and I'm starting to think that I just want my whole envelope to be green. So we're going to do it, and that's okay. When you're coloring, you can go over it a few times, always walk away and come back. It's just paper. And that makes it more greeny and not quite so dirty looking. In my opinion, it has that color in it. It's going to dry back just a little bit. I see I had a little tiny bit right here out, so I'm just going to grab my 0, hit that there. Okay. And there's pretty much our card, so let's get it put together. We're going to add some fun embellishments yet here. We'll add some tape. Line up our little piece of paper here. And I think we're going to go right about there. Use that line in my glass mat. That works. And then add some tape runner to our square. You could pop a couple different pieces up. We might pop up our square here, I think. And we're just going to eyeball that. And then I told you I'd show you how to use these little pieces here. And I think I'll show you what we're going to do is we're just going to stick them out the edge and make a little, do I want them down here? We're going to put them down here. And I'm just going to cut a little, so this isn't glued down all the way yet. And we're just going to stick them off to the edge here a little bit. And we'll do them at different sizes. Here's that teeny tiny one. We're just going to stick it under a little bit. And then this one is going this same direction. So I'm just going to cut it down because I don't need all of that. I'll stick this one right here. Make that one a little bit shorter. And that just adds a little something there. You could also have done it behind, like behind here. I'll show you with this piece here. You could also have done it behind, kind of like here, to stick out. But I'm gonna do just those 3 pieces right there. We're gonna stick this down. Let's put this up on some foam tape. Got a couple small pieces here. Another small piece of foam tape. Nope. Trying to use up small bits of my foam tape. Tear a little piece off. Pop that up. Now, what I want to decide is, do I want to stick my sentiment right off the edge of that? I'm actually thinking I'm going to set it right over here. So let's glue this down. Stick this down here. Yeah, I'm glad I colored that green envelope in a little bit. I'm going to add some liquid glue to my sentiment. We're going to stick that off here and just kind of butt it up against the edge. And then I'm going to take some of these. This was from our freebie from this past week that was added to orders. We ran out because we had quite a few orders come in. And I'm just going to, I haven't opened mine yet. Let's see if I can get the, there we go. Grab a little jar. And I'm going to grab a couple, I think, of the white hearts. And we're just going to put a few of them in. 1, 2, 3. Right there. You could totally, let me show you, you could totally grab them and you could cover them, you know, cover up these hearts if you wanted to. But I'm going to go ahead and put them in right here. These little clay hearts right here. Nice little shaker bit boxes too. I'm going to twist them a little bit here and there so that the hearts don't go, yeah, let's, little wonky hearts. There we go. And there is our day 11. Is that? Yep, no. We're on day 12 already, aren't we? There we go. Come back for day 13, and we're almost to the end of the countdown box. Bye now.